congratulations on purchasing a Comfort Craft table. Today we're here to show you how to use the table with your client. Some of the techniques that we discussed in the how-to video will be shown today. So get in a comfortable position and enjoy the ride. Okay, today now we're going to demonstrate the dance. You've heard me talk about it many times at the shows, and I've demonstrated it for years. The one important thing is we're only going to work one side today, so you're going to have to do both sides on your own. So the first thing we want to do is to lower the headrest so that we're having the patient feel as comfortable as possible. And then we're going to put a little bit of a tilt on the headrest to open up that neck a little bit. So watching in the low back as I raise up the mid-split, what we're looking for is for the patient to be able to open up their back in a relaxed condition. So bringing the table up to where I want to work on the patient makes it much easier for me to step into my cutouts. So you can see how I can step over and step into the patient and be able to work directly into their body. So as I'm here, I want to make sure that low back is opened up and not overstretched. So we want to talk to our patient about how that feels. Is that too much?
Feels good.
So what we're going to do is we're going to raise the table up now so that I can work with my elbow into the pelvis by stepping in and being able to be at the right position for me to get with the patient like this. So as I roll in, you can see I'm using my arm. It's straight, and I can use my body weight. And because I'm stepped into the cutout, it allows me to work very, very close to the patient. I'm going to work down the legs. I'm also going to use my forearm and come back up all the way from the knee into the insertion. This allows me to get in very close because of the cutout of the table, as you can see over here, and it keeps you from having to bend over. The next area we want to work on is the legs. So I'm going to bring the table down. At the same time, feel both sides of the calves, so if I see there's an imbalance or not. It's very important when you're working with the body to check both sides. So as we get ready to do the leg pull, one of the techniques I found is that by asking the client to take 2 deep breaths, it allows them to not only relax the first time, but allows the body to let go the second time. So we're going to ask for the first deep breath and a blowout. We can shake the leg a little bit, but then we ask for the second deep breath. It's basically a straight pull back, going down into where the pad is, and then very easily we're going to let off on the leg so we don't pop the hip back into place. So from there, we're going to raise the table up again to where I can interface with the back of the neck and my hand on the hip. So I can get in a position where I use a straight arm, and I'm back into the occipital area, and I'm going to ask for a nice deep breath. And basically what I'm asking the body to do is to open up on that one side just a little bit so it takes the tension out of this side of the body. From there, I'm going to come back to the midsection and make sure that we've got a lot of opening here. And I am also going to bring the table back down again so that I can really get into the thoracic area and over the top of the client. So as you can see, it's much easier for me to be able to step in and work close to the body when I'm in this position. So watching her low back as we bring the table back down, you can see that her back goes into compression. See how compressed this shirt is? When we open the table up to 9 or 10 degrees, we have opening. It's important not to overstretch the back. Our working range is 9 to 10 to 15 degrees. If you have any questions, feel free to email us. Have a great day, and we're going to get on to the next session. Now we're at the rollover. So the first thing we want to do is we want to pull the pillow out, leg pillow out from underneath their legs, and we're going to have them roll over by putting their hands up on the table. So as they roll over and not slide down the table, but they keep their head up in the head pillow area. So now we take and we put the pad back up under the legs. Once we have our patient laying face up, what we want to do is we want to change out the face pillow for the large head pillow. So you ask your client to pick up their head, you take the face pillow off, you put the large head pillow on, Make sure their hair is out of the way, and then you get them to slide back so the shoulders are right at the front edge of the table. This is so important so that you can get the rotation of the neck correct. Second thing is you want to remove the armrest so it's out of the way. You want to get your foot pedal so that you can work with it in a very comfortable manner. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to bring up the mid-split so we take the pressure off the low back. We talked about the intrinsic arch. Well, what we're doing is we're allowing the intrinsic arch to relax by bringing the table up at 9 or 10 degrees. From this point, I'm simply going to grab hold of the neck, and I'm going to bring the table up. And as I bring the table up, me holding steady, you can see how I elongate the body with the pressure of the table moving away. Once I'm at a working height, that's where I want to get in my position where my knee is slightly above my hip in here. With the armrest removed, that gives me the ability to slide up under and work into the neck area really easy. So the first thing I want to do is just open up a little bit of the neck by doing a stretch sideways. It's ear to shoulder and nose to shoulder. I'm going to show this both directions so that you can see how easy it is for me to get in here. At this point in time, a lot of times it's very tough to get into the neck area because you're on a flat table. By being able to rotate the large head pillow back, now I can get in and open up these neck areas so I can work much more efficiently than being in a compressed mode of here. So is it obvious to you that I'm very easily up under the table with my knees? I'm in a very comfortable position with my arms, and now I'm going to show you how to just remove the large head pillow. And by dropping the headrest with this one little move, now I can bring the table down to where I'm supporting the head on my knees, not carrying the head on my knees. So at this point here, I can work side to side. I can also work in with my knee, my elbow on my knee, and I can use my thumb, and I can use my knee for the power of working my thumb. So it gives me a lot of nice interfaces in areas that are very typically hard to get into because you have the patient slid down the table. At this point, I can also rotate my knee up under the head, and I can do a little side stretch. And again, it's back to you interfacing with the patient. And opening up the neck area. So from here, I'm going to bring the headrest back up. Put the large head pillow back on. So I'm in a nice stable position. So now I'm going to ask her to bring the hands over their head. And I get a really good stretch like this. A nice deep breath, and then another stretch. The large head pillow can be slid back so the arms can drop in a little bit easier. So we're looking to open up all these areas that are tough to get to, especially on a flat table. So now I can bring the arms back up on my legs, push the large head pillow back in. And this allows me now to be able to work on the forearm on my leg and not having to chase it into a pad somewhere. So now I can feel both sides of the body and feel how open or tight they are. So from this point, what we're going to do is we're going to open up the table to allow the patient to feel the front line opening of what the table can do. And then with a nice stretch, we're allowing the patient to let go because of the position of the table. So now I'm going to take and work the arms. Nothing like a little Traeger to open up the shoulders. And then go back down on the stool. I'm going to bring the table up a hair more. And now another nice stretch. So now, as we want to bring the table down, we want to get the foot control under our foot and just simply bring the table back down to where we call neutral positioning. Neutral is where the body's supported and it's not flat. So we push the large head pillow in, we get rid of all the bad stuff, and then we bring the patient back to real world by bringing them flat. I hope you've had the opportunity to enjoy the ride at a show. If not, next time you're at a show, get a ride on the table and have a great day.